The top four race is heating up, and as in the last video, as I told you about Manchester United and their demise today against Fulham, Aston Villa took full opportunity of that with a very strong performance at home to Nottingham Forest. They won 4-2, but this game was not as clear-cut as it seems, because somewhere in the middle of the second half, Nottingham Forest actually did put some pressure on Aston Villa. Villa are now 8 points ahead of Manchester United, and they have a small cushion of 5 points ahead of Tottenham. And surprisingly enough, they're only 3 points behind Arsenal, despite Arsenal having played a game less, and they are going to play that later on today against Newcastle. But so far, the omens look good for Aston Villa, and if they keep this performance and regain that strong home performance that we've known them to be able to do so far this season, they might just be a shoo-in for this top four. But anyway, guys, it's your boy Izzy, and if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that like and the subscribe button to let YouTube and everybody else know that you're enjoying this content. A lot could be said about Aston Villa's performance in the first half. They blew Nottingham Forest away, and with 3 quick-fire goals, the first of which came after only 3 minutes from Ollie Watkins, who is having a purple patch and is in a very good run of form. Aston Villa were very good for their 3 points today. However, it did become a little sticky in the middle of the game when Nyakate was able to bring them back to 3-1, and a little bit later on after the second half, when Morgan Gibbs was able to get them to 3-2, Aston Villa were able to push ahead after Leon Bailey managed to add a fourth, and that was due reward for them because Aston Villa were great in this game. Nottingham Forest were not poor, but in the first half they did not play very well, and Aston Villa can do that to you. Unai Emery is one of the best tactical managers in the world, and his ability to make his players punch above their weights is something that is very, very notable. Aston Villa now putting some good space between themselves and Manchester United will be hoping that Tottenham themselves also falter later on. But in putting Nottingham Forest to the sword, they have done themselves a huge favor because unbeknownst to them, Manchester United were losing 2-1 at home to Fulham. And with Aston Villa having such a good home record, it's about time for them to start bouncing back and showing the form that they had shown prior to the defeat they had to Newcastle. Home fixtures are going to be important for Aston Villa because they are not the strongest away team, but when they are able to take control of games as they did today, it's going to show them to be a very strong top 4 contender. And with a few tough fixtures still to come, notably against Liverpool, against Arsenal, and against Manchester City in their run-in, it's going to be important for them to put teams such as Nottingham Forest, who are fighting against relegation, to the sword. And with the ability that they have up front with Leon Bailey, who I thought was absolutely stupendous in this game, and with other players such as Douglas Luiz, who was able to chip in with a few goals, and with Ollie Watkins, who is in red-hot form, they should be able to see out the rest of the season okay. As far as Nottingham Forest, they did give it a good fist towards the middle of the second half, but at that point, Aston Villa were playing very well, and it was only a matter of time because of the fact that Aston Villa did take their foot off the pedal a little bit that you saw Nottingham Forest be able to come back in this game. As far as their relegation scrap, they were very lucky to see Everton concede a late goal to Brighton and Hove Albion, so that still keeps them above Everton, but they need to pick up form. The fact that Nuno Espirito Santo has been able to change their fortunes somewhat because he has been able to pick up 3 victories, which is as many as Steve Cooper had been able to pick up in his duration as manager at the start of this season, well, that is not such a bad thing. And going away to Aston Villa was going to be a tough ask for any team. Aston Villa are a very good team at home, despite the fact that they have shown some indifferent form over the last couple of games. Nottingham Forest should be trying to look to try and pick up points against teams that are in and around them and somewhere in mid-table. And they're quite possibly going to be able to do that. Gibbs White is a very good player. He seems to be able to galvanize the squad. Some of that is what a team like Manchester United would need in a leader. But Gibbs White is playing very well, and if they still keep him and keep some of the other crucial players such as Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi fit, they might be able to still make it through towards the end of this season. But anyway, guys, this was a cut and dry game. I didn't see too much in the way of Nottingham Forest causing problems from Aston Villa, but they did become a little lackadaisical towards the middle of the second half, and it quite possibly could have been punished because Nottingham Forest do have the ability to cause problems, and Awani, who is a good player, could have caused him a few more problems if he was on target today. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. It's your boy Izzy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And until the next review, peace.